And tuition or housing, our Beyond the Books investigation uncovers the tough choice for some college students next. Well, some Utah college students are facing a big problem this fall semester. There's nowhere to live. Next, our Beyond the Books team dives into the issue and the one thing this one university did not consider when it was trying to recruit new students.
Well, as if college wasn't tough enough, it seems Utah's higher education institutions have a housing problem now.
I have a student. I know it's tough to find some place to live. Some students are even telling Chris Jones and the Beyond the Books team that they might be spending next semester bunking in their cars.
Guys, we all know that Utah's red-hot real estate market is making it difficult for buyers, but it's also making it extremely difficult for college students who are trying to get their education and simply find a place to live.
It has 3 bedrooms.
For 3 years,
It originally was 3 people in a house.
SUU senior Chris Quick has called this modest Cedar City house a home.
So I'm paying $400 here a month.
But that rent is about to skyrocket to as much as $1,000 a month, thanks to a red-hot real estate market prompting a housing shortage across the state.
Does this blow your budget totally out of the water?
Oh yeah, I exhausted all my options looking around.
What's going on, particularly for students?
Insanity.
Derek Morton owns Net Gain Property Management in Cedar City. He rents to students.
The week of graduation, we filled every single one of our units within the first 5 days after graduation.
Wow.
But it usually takes all summer.
He says other property management companies have sold off as many as 250 homes that were formerly dedicated to student housing.
And that's a huge, huge loss.
SUU is not the only Utah university with housing problems. Beyond the Books reached out to all state colleges. At the University of Utah, for example, 460 students are on a waiting list for housing. At Utah State University, they have at least 100 students on the list. At Utah Valley University, students can find housing, but rents are skyrocketing. And back at SUU, as many as 1,000 students are still scrambling for a place to live.
There was a little bit of lack of foresight.
Morton says SUU failed to anticipate the tight housing market and should have slowed student recruiting earlier or encouraged more students to go online.
It just placed a huge, huge additional burden on our housing market that we really can't afford.
The beds that we had online last year aren't necessarily online this year. So that's a problem that we did not anticipate.
David Bishop with SUU is quick to point out that COVID and the historically hot real estate market are the things driving these shortages. However, he admits the university has been aggressively enrolling students, but says that has virtually stopped during the current crisis.
So some of the criticism we heard is, it's not like this housing boom started last month. It's been going on for 6 or 8 months now. That could have given the university enough time to maybe look at solutions.
We're not in the student housing business. We rely on the local community. So there are some things that are outside of our control.
How can you do that to students who are struggling all the time for just to, to eat and to get your education? I mean.
Meanwhile, with few options, Chris has had to get creative.
So what is this? What are we looking at here?
We are looking at Chris's new home.
His parents bought him this old repossessed camper.
Fortunately, we found an RV at a good price.
And Chris will live here for his last year at SUU. However, some of his fellow students aren't so lucky.
The university has a nice PE building facility. It's got showers. I know some people that are going to be sleeping out of their car and showering there.
SUU says not only is it college kids who find themselves in a lurch, they say that they've made offers to college professors to come work at SUU, but those college professors in some cases have had to decline that offer because they simply can't find housing. Guys, back to you.
Tricky situation for sure. Chris, thank you. If you have a tip on an education story you'd like Chris Jones and our Beyond the Books team to investigate, the phone number and the email are on your screen there, or just go to KUTV.com.